on the east side of Vancouver Island in 1889. They dug for coal up in this valley, so was born Cumberland Mines.
Well, welcome to the Comox Valley. We're standing right here in the heart of the valley alongside the Courtenay River right now. And as part of understanding the regional growth strategy of moving forward, we also have to take a look at the past. The area has now grown and developed into 3 urban areas, Courtenay, Comox, and Cumberland, and a large surrounding rural area. Well, welcome to Cumberland, the old mining town in the Comox Valley. The mines were open for 77 years. So when the mines closed in 1966, the fortunes of the town were diminished and many people had to leave and get jobs elsewhere. But in recent years, people are finding this place again, and many young families are coming back here now to live and to raise their family. We're standing in the actual Comox Bay itself, or originally known as Augusta Bay. The natives were here already. They had been here for about close to 10,000 years. And then in the 1860s, the settlers came from the Victoria area, and they moved up the island, and this is where they landed here in Augusta Bay. Now we know it as Comox. The city of Courtenay was incorporated in 1915. It has now developed into the cultural and commercial core of the Comox Valley.
The Comox people have traditionally occupied the land from Sayward down to Englishman River by Qualicum. We use all the places extensively for berry picking, for hunting, for gathering cedar. They believe there's probably about 200,000 fish weirs just right out there, all the way down to the Goose Spit.
Our history has shaped the way this valley has grown and developed. Now, with the regional growth strategy, we have the opportunity to take a proactive role in managing that change. I attended an open house in February that set this process in motion.
The purpose of the open houses has been to inform the public about what's going on with the regional growth strategy, to give a bit of information on the process and the timeline and what's coming next and what to expect. And then also to gather some information from people through a variety of activities meant to, at this point, identify what the issues are.
So what is a regional growth strategy? First of all, it's a set of policy statements. So the strategy has to have a bunch of words that actually provide direction on particular issues. There's also a series of maps contained in them, which does a similar thing. It identifies some of the important features in the region and illustrates some of those words and policies in terms of directing and managing and directing where land use activities, because it's those two things together that establish what the strategy is. So tonight we're here for the first set of the different rounds of engagement we're doing, and we're here to talk about issues. What we want to do tonight is ask you 3 things. One is help us frame these questions properly. Do they resonate with you? Are they structured right? Can they be restructured? Because the way they're asked will affect the way we answer them at the end of the day. And help us start answering them. You all have ideas. You all have things you want to say. Put them on the board. Drag us into a corner. Talk to us. Don't let us go till you think we've heard what you have to say, and so forth. And help us identify missing issues. I think that's clear as well. I think we've got a good sense of the general issues, but if there are more specific ones that you want us to address along the way, that's what we're going to do.
With this plan, we have the opportunity to make some important decisions about the future of the Comox Valley. Moving forward, there are a number of issues that need to be discussed. Agriculture. We value local agriculture, but it's becoming increasingly difficult for farmers to survive. How can we honor our agricultural tradition? Economic development. What can we do to ensure that we have a vibrant economy that's stable over the long term? Housing and affordability. Shelter is a basic human need. How can we encourage a variety of housing types so it's affordable to live here? Infrastructure. We often take for granted the infrastructure that supports our daily lives. Maintaining and upgrading this infrastructure can have huge financial implications. What smart choices can we make now that will benefit us all in the future? Public health and safety. How we build our communities has a direct impact on the health of the people in them. Simple things like making our communities better for walking and biking can have huge health benefits. Greenhouse gas emissions. Emissions are a global problem. We all have to do our part to help reduce them, but how far are we willing to go? Transportation. We need alternatives to the automobile. What can we do to make transit a more viable option? Conservation. The natural beauty of this region is one of its biggest assets. How can we preserve this treasure for generations to come? These are some big questions. How we address these issues in the regional growth strategy will define the future of our region. Now, let's get to work.
We're still here, Grandpa, we're still on the land. We're still here, Grandpa, every day, working man. And we help each other, oh, whenever we can. My three brothers.